Good evening, everyone. This is Master Coach A coming in live from Kapehan Republic, the home of certified life coaches. You're joining me for Kapehan Night. This is Coaching Tuesday, and let me take this moment to greet all my on-floor guests. Good evening, coaches, incoming coaches, and guests. Magandang gabi. Okay, we've started, a little earlier, and we've started working on a toolkit talking about dreams. If you are joining me for the first time, I'm a certified life coach, and I do this talk every Tuesday and Thursday. But last week, let me say thank you to Coach Ed Kimuel for taking the floor in my behalf, and also to Coach Rizel for taking over the Thursday edition or the Thursday episode. So we were in Bicol, and we finished batch 34 with new, certified life coaches from the Region 5, and right now, we are very grateful that we are now a tribe of 240 coaches, certified life coaches in the Philippines. So we welcome last week 6 brand new change agents from Region 5. Congratulations, Coach Tin. Coach Tin is here on floor right now. Congratulations, Coach Sean, Coach Jonathan, and Coach Sherry, and to all our brand new life coaches, to our newly certified life coaches from Region 5. Good evening, and if you're watching, congratulations once again. If you are also joining us for the first time, Kapehan Night is our weekly talk brought to you by Kapehan Republic. This is our coaching night where we talk about life, relationship, money, career, anything under the sun. And tonight we're going to be diving into something that is common, but I think maybe many of you have been hearing or have been talking about. I'm going to be talking about one of your red flag, your red alert. We call it the SOS. SOS stands for Shiny Object Syndrome. Okay, guess. Can you take a look again at the person next to you? Is there something shiny about that person maliban sa face? Alright? Meron bang kumikinang sa tao? Okay? When you talk about shiny object syndrome, let me tell you that this is not only about a particular object than living things. A person can also be a shiny object to you. Okay? What is shiny object syndrome? Okay, this one stems from a person's ability to see opportunity in new ideas. O parang ang ganda, di ba? So if you are beside someone na full of ideas, so tingnan nga natin, if you are beside someone, if you are working with someone, if you are in a community, in a tribe, in a family with a lot of great ideas almost every day, isn't it true? Would you agree with me that almost always, you are enticed to listen and to follow what they are offering in the table? Agree, disagree? Okay? It seems right now when we talk about business, it's like the trend would be business owners are getting distracted by many ideas. So normally, if they receive the latest fad, the latest promotion, the latest way to do your marketing, the latest sales pitch, many of us go through it. Mga business owners are lured to follow this. Okay, so people, personally, if you track back, this is also the way you run your own personal show. Okay, now, picture this out. How many times, you are working on something and all of a sudden a friend, a social media advertisement, or someone close to you will offer something that is bigger than what you're holding. And then, have you heard of this? Why don't you see? Why can't you look at the bigger picture? Familiar? Sino na yung nasabihan ka ng ganon? Friend, there are so many things happening right now. Laos na yung hawak mo. Okay? Why don't you look at the bigger picture? Why don't you look at the new trends? Why don't you look at new things right now that is tumitrending? Sino sa inyo may nakausap na kayong ganon? We hear, we think, new ideas, new gadget. And how many times zoom in, and the next thing you know, you're off and you're with that idea. Sino dito, nadali ka na nun? Who's guilty? Okay? You feel the great energy, the excitement of starting anew, and you start feeling, baka ito na. Alam mo, ito na talaga ang ikauunlad ko. Yan. This is for me, I can feel it. Of course, what happens next? You are so excited to get started. But, would you agree with me that many of these things that lure you, entice you, never ever get to finish? Okay? You spent what? You lost your focus. You spent hundreds of thousands of money okay, energy, ano pa, loss of productivity, loss of hours, loss of sometimes relationship. Who can connect? Meron ka na bang ganong experience sa buhay mo? Okay? How many times did you try something just because it's exciting? Because it promises something beautiful. Iniwan mo pati trabaho mo, iniwan mo pati kung ano yung ginagawa mo. Ouch! Iniwan yung trabaho. Okay? Sino? Okay? Sino dito? Yung iba, iniiwan pati relasyon. Okay. Most of the time, people would say that it is only the people who are not motivated that easily lured by SOS or shiny object syndrome. But quite the opposite, you can be motivated, you can be inspired about something, but who? Okay? If you have an SOS, okay, anything that is shiny, anything that is new, anything that exciting, it captures your attention. Okay. Who can say, I'm guilty of that? Okay. Now, how many times, okay, you've done something that does not fit into your vision or your goals in life? Just setting the parameters if you have this. How many times you've done something that does not accelerate you getting or finishing the goal that you have on time, on hand at the time? How many times you've done something that is not sustainable? Panay ludok. Okay? How many times you started something with the end mind of increasing revenue profitability, but you ended up losing money? Okay? How many times you started something, okay, an opportunity that because it changes other people's lives, you believe it will also change your own life? But never happened. Never did. Well, for some, it changes their life and it gets worse. Isip-isip tayo. Okay. Okay. All of this you may say yes, simply because, again, going back to shiny object syndrome, it started with your ability to see opportunity in new ideas. Agree, disagree? Agree, disagree? Alright? Meron kang nakitang opportunity. What about the new ideas? Now, so is it bad? Okay? Is it negative to see new ideas, new opportunities, new way to level up in life? Masama ba yon? Masama ba yon? No, it's not, right? So, what's wrong? What's wrong? Why it's a red flag? Why many people, okay, consider, okay, SOS as a distraction? Why many people are lured, okay, with many things simply because of the SOS? Kung hindi naman pala masama that we see opportunities in new ideas. So where is the problem coming in? Saan galing? Okay? I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna share with you 3 ways to check, okay, if you have an SOS, a shiny object syndrome, and if it is affecting your progress in life. Ready? Okay. Let's do 3C. Let's do 3C. First C. Okay. Compare. Compare. Okay. When you look at something, okay, when you look at the shiny object, okay, not the person next to you, okay, can you compare, will you compare, or do you compare it with what you already have? Or immediately, because it's shining, you proceed running after it? Okay? How many times you've seen people changes their course, changes their training program, changes their diet, changes their trainers, changes the things in their life simply because they heard, okay, that this one is better or this one is greater. Okay? So, first of the C is try to compare. the shiny object, compare it to what you have. Now, next, when you compare, you also look into the question, is there anything wrong with what you have today? Is there anything not working with what you have today? Is there anything damaging in what you have today that you will consider running after or pursuing this shiny object? What you have today, okay? Next item. When you compare, you check also what you have today compared to the shiny object. Does it meet your needs? Does it fulfill you? Does it satisfy you? Does it give you joy? Also in compare, before you go to what is shiny, you also have to ask, have you given enough time? Have you given enough time yourself, the option, whatever it is in your hand today to run its course? Because commonly, okay, people give up too soon. Alam mo yung ganon? Nagsimula, walang nangyayari, bitaw. Kasi simulan mo lang last week, talagang wala pang nangyayari. Because you have to consider that there is an element of time, okay? If you are learning new skills, if you are learning something from a new program, you don't expect to learn it overnight. But many people give up too soon. Wala naman nangyari, wala naman progress, wala naman akong growth. And you give it up and you throw it just before you start seeing the fruits. So have you given enough time? Okay. And finally, when you do the comparing, this is one question that you really have to ask yourself. Ready? What makes the shiny object so intriguing and so delicious? Is it about the object? Is it about the person introducing the object? Is it about the people going with the object? Or is it about you being fed with something because you are full of insecurity and you have a low esteem? Ano daw? Yeah. Think about it. What is it in that shiny object that intrigues you, okay, and feels so sweet that you would really exchange everything that you have right now? Is it really about the object, or is it about the person offering the object? Or maybe the promise of the person offering the object. What is it? Ay? Sumagot? Okay naman tayo, Trish? Okay, next on the C. Okay, let's do some counting. Okay. If you want to consider the shiny object, okay, count the cost of the shiny object. Can you afford it? When I say cost, I'm not only talking about the finances. Can you afford your relationship losses? Can you afford mental challenges? Okay, can you put at risk your mental wellness? What about the physical toil? Okay, many times we only compute the cost in terms of money, in terms of finances. And if we look at our bank account and we say, I have money to spend, I have money to risk, I have money to put in and shell it out, we forget. Now, when you take and run after shiny object, you might lose valuable relationships, you might lose your sanity, and maybe you will lose your physical health because your body is taking so much toil. Count the cost. Next, count your present expenses for what you have. Are you spending so much for what you have? Because sometimes what you have is great, good enough, fulfilling, and you're not even spending for it because it's already in place, and yet you would pursue something that is very costly. Think about it. What is your present expenses? When we do counting, it's also worth taking that you also count the cost of making transition and change. Making that big, bold move. What does it take for you to be courageous enough to make that change if ever you will pursue that shiny object? Connecting, Coach Wes? Ay, si Trisha ba? Count, okay? Count also the pros and cons of keeping what you have. Yeah? And compare it. Kaya di ba may compare ka kanina? Okay? This time, count it. Count with the pros and cons of getting the shiny object. Many times, because it's shiny, we don't even look at the pros and cons of losing and getting it. Remember, there's always a pros and a consequence. And right now, you already have something that is working. Maybe you already have something right now that's valuable, and you will have to let go of that for something that is shiny. So, count. Be sure that you're able to count. And finally, okay, who would like to guess the third C? Compare, counting, ano yung sunod? Ano yung sunod na C? Ano daw? Calculus.
Counting.
On my number C, okay. Ano? Huh? Consider the big picture. Let's consider now the big picture. What will life be like in 6 months? In 1 year? In 2 years? In 5 years? What would your life look like until the time you die if you take the shiny object? What will life be like financially? Okay? After taking all the costs. After laying down all what you have to lay down. After incurring all what you need to incur. Consider what you can afford and what you cannot afford. Consider the burdens. Consider the rewards as well. Now, big question when you consider the big picture is this. Is this shiny object similar to what you had in the past that you regretted? Think about it. Is this object, is this matter, is this option similar to anything else in the past na pinagsisihan mo na at gusto mo na namang ulitin ngayon? May connection ba?
Wala pa. Wala pa.
If you want to handle yourself, protect yourself, and free yourself, or maybe free yourself from SOS, one thing that you have to be so clear is your goal, your vision. What is it that you want to become? Be sure that you have a timer about this. Because many times, we look at one thing, we have a vision about something, we have a goal on something, but we never set the right time and we don't set the timer. Okay? Gusto mo ng wellness center that will take you 5 years to build. After 1 year, you say, walang nangyayari, forget about it. Set a very realistic timetable, get the timer on, and be sure that the timer will remind you that goals, vision, have time for them to be accomplished. So just before you throw your towel in the court and say, it's over, it's not working, be sure that you have a timer set in place. And finally, if you want to protect yourself, set yourself free from, it's either you're a victim right now, you're in right now. I think the third would really help you. So what's the first one? The first one is having your vision, having a clear vision, having a clear goals. Number 2 is having a timer set, okay, a real timeline. And you know what's the third? I'll tell you the third, which I believe is the most important. What's the third? Invest in the right training and the right help and support team. Make an investment that you will get the right training, the right support, the right help. Because when you go through life without training, without support, without help, really the tendency is you will run after, follow what is shiny. Okay? Because you hope and you believe that the void that you feel in your heart can be filled by that. And ultimately, what is that void? The void of support, the void of help, the void of being heard, the void of being accepted, the void of being part of a group. At natahimik si Coach. Coach, nandito ba? Shiny object syndrome. Is it bad? Is it good? You can argue, you can defend what you are working on today and say, no, I am not being lured. No, I am not victim of this. No, I am not oppressed. Or no, I am not imprisoned by this. But my question to you as we end the night, in everything that you do, in everything that you consider, in everything that you put in your plate, in everything that you allow to distract you, in everything that you put investment on, in everything that you toil, will that move you closer to your primary goal in life? Whatever is your goal, put it on a primary line and see if the goal is towards your vision, and whatever is you are being lured about, being enticed about, think about it. Answer the question, will it move you closer to your primary goal? I suppose you get the answer. If it's no, I'm sure you can exercise wisdom to believe that what you hold right now is working. And if the answer is yes, then think again. Can you afford the price? Can you afford the cost? At the end of the day, it's your goal. Do not sell it just because the object is shiny. Good night, everyone. This is Coach A. I'll see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.